Let's go. All right, y'all, we finally made it. The year's finally over in here in 2024. Let's give a round of applause for ourselves. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Cheer on. Thank those, who we left behind in 2023. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's hard for me to let people go. So everyone was in 2023 right here with me in 2024. So shout out to y'all. Yeah, you're amazing. But on a serious topic, I really want to talk about my music journey over the past 10 years. Last year, 2023, marked my 10-year anniversary being a producer and making beats. And along that journey, I've dropped many projects, about hundreds of instrumentals, 7 albums, or EPs, projects, whatever you want to call them. It's just been a wild time, and I've seen some ups, I've seen some downs, I've seen some little mini peaks and valleys. So I wanted to share with y'all 5 tips I've learned on my journey to becoming better at my work ethic and getting just better with the music making process. I'm not Eldre, I'm not Andrew Wong, I'm not any of those YouTubers who have like millions of subscribers and show you this mindset of how I did that third to get this million streams. No, but I can show you how I can make a beat, a very good, efficient instrumental in like 10 minutes, and how I got to that level. I can show you that. If you want to learn how to quadruple your money account, go to them. Go to them. I'll definitely link them in the bio, in the description. Yeah, you can go see those guys. But for now, let's talk about the 5 tips I've learned from my journey as a music producer to making undeniable bangers. He said with massive ego. Let's get into it. First thing I learned is you can make a career just as a producer slash artist. In the beginning, when I was making music, I was just making beats for myself as an artist. I wanted to be able to rap over these beats because when I first looked online for beats, they weren't really what I liked and what piqued my interest. I didn't look up any type beats during the time or look up instrumentals from very popular songs. I did a little bit, but I don't own those rights, and also I don't have money to even pay for the type beats, so I needed to learn how to do it on my own. And also along the way of learning how to make beats, people were always telling me,
man, you know what you should do? You should sell these to people, or you need to find a way to get a producer tag so that way, if you sell these people, you have basically your copyright on there so no one can take it from you.
And it's all good advice and it's all good for who you want to be, but that's not what I wanted to do. I didn't want to sell my beats to other people. I had no intention on even working with other artists like that. I really made these beats for myself so I can rap on them and I can sing them. And I just didn't want to it just wasn't in my plan to be making money by selling beats. But along my journey, I saw artists like Flying Lotus and Toki Monster and Knowledge, DiBiase, Rash G, all these cool people in the kind of lo-fi beat maker LA scene. They were all making beats and they were working with some artists, but a lot of times they were doing their own shows like at the Boiler Room or doing it at festivals, and it was just off of their own instrumentals. So I kind of learned at the time, yo, I don't need to really be making placements or look for it. I can just really be my own artist and do live sets if I so choose to do so, but instead of just rapping or singing. Another thing that I wanted to point out with in my first tip was that also as a producer slash artist, you can just make the beats for yourself if you are a singer or a rapper, which is something else that I figured out early on when I saw people like J. Cole, Kanye West, Big Crit, people like that making their own beats and rapping over them. I was not even aware that people were doing that at first when I was 11, 12 years old. I was 13. It finally dawned on me that they were doing it when I looked at the credits and watched the videos of them doing it. So that's another thing to also keep in mind. But basically, at the end of the day, all I was really trying to say is that this is literally your game. You can do whatever you want to do. You don't have to go get placements. If you want to go get placements, that's fine too. But yeah, just make your own beats for yourself, rap over them, sing over them, or just go do live shows as a DJ. Number 2, make sure you know your why. There are going to be a lot of days where you're just going to sit at the screen frustrated. You're going to be at your lowest artistically and creatively, and that's fine. As long as you know your why. Your why is what really keeps you going and your drive. you can look at yourself and say, what am I really doing this for? Why am I making this music? Am I doing it for the money? Am I doing it for the love of art? Am I doing it because I have dreams of one day selling out arenas and performing these songs in front of people? And it just keeps you going. It keeps you motivated. It's really like the anchor that keeps you grounded and you want to keep going on forward. So as long as you keep that going, it's a good way to know where you're on track with yourself. And there's nothing wrong with doubting yourself. It comes along with the process. But as long as you know what you're doing this for and why you're doing it, you'll be fine. I could just add a slurping effect. I didn't need to actually do it. Number 3, love the process. This goes along with part 2, so it's kind of like 2B, but if we're gonna do 3, because, YouTube, thumbnail reasons. Loving the process is very important, and when it comes to making music, you have to just understand that you have to enjoy the nitty-gritty of this lifestyle. Even if you're doing something, not even just this, or maybe doing fashion, doing film. Like, say with fashion, you're trying to find the right fabric to make a sweater. You might have an idea where you're like, okay, I want to use this specifically for this sweater. So you might end up going places where you're trying to find them and test them out. And then you got to go, this analogy lost me immediately, but you understand where I'm coming from. There are going to be nights where you're staring at a screen, listening to a beat on loop all the time. And that is what I was doing. I was trying to find the right kick, the right snare, trying to find the right synthesizer to go with the melody, trying to find the right chord progression to do this with. And even if it was the right chord progression, am I using the right sounds for it? There are nights where you're literally just doing that. There are nights where you're trying to figure out the right flow, the right lyrics to go with the song, the right melody to go with what you're singing. And it just happens. There could be days where you're just listening to samples all day if you're a sampling based producer. Or as Drake has put it one time, there are just nights of nothingness.
The other thing that's tough when you invite people in the studio is they're obviously coming to watch something happen, right? And it doesn't always happen every night. It's not like every night is some magic moment. I mean, there's nights of frustration, there's nights of nothingness.
It's not always fun and games. It's not always every night someone has this moment of inspiration where they're just like, all right, cool, I'm gonna record this verse right here, right now. I'm gonna record the whole album tonight. It just it may happen, but it doesn't happen at all. And you gotta get used to it. You gotta understand that that's part of it, and you gotta bear it. You gotta stick through it. It's part of it all. Even for this YouTube that I'm doing right now. Do you know how long it took me to make this video? I've had this idea since July. It's January. You know how much discipline it took me to write this script out, record it in front of you, and now I gotta edit it later? This is a process. But I love it, and I wanted to make this video, and I wanted to give my 2 cents about my time making music and loving the process of making music. The way I love the process of doing YouTube videos. I enjoy editing my videos. I just got to find time for it. This right here was a pain in the ass. Step 4, find other ways to stay inspired. Time and time again, I get to a point where I don't know where to go with my music. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to add on. I don't know what to fix. And sometimes I just hit that mental block. The same way, as I said in step 2, you kind of hit that artistic low and you try to find your why. These all go hand in hand with finding other things to stay inspired. I'll do things like go to the gym, I'll do yoga, I'll meditate, I'll go for a walk, I'll do whatever to clear my mind and make sure I'm not focused on that specific problem anymore. And then I can come back with fresh ears, a fresh mind, a fresh set of eyes, and I can just come in with a whole different perspective and make something that I wouldn't be able to if I hadn't gone and take a break. But also remembering that us as producers and beat makers, we're all kind of just hermits inside. We're all just going to stay inside and just work on the music until we're done. and we don't have any other hobbies. So that's what you also have to do. Find ways to stay inspired by finding another hobby. Find something else to do. If finding something else to do just means like you're just chilling in your room playing Sudoku all day, cool. At least your mind is getting challenged and you're doing something different. Maybe it's reading a book. Maybe it's you like knitting. Maybe you enjoy pottery. I don't know. I don't give a like, go find something to do. Number 5, consistency is key. At the end of the day, the most important part of these artistic endeavors is building consistency. And working at a constant rate in the beginning is very helpful for your artistic growth. And it doesn't necessarily have to be that you're creating something every day, but you're building upon your knowledge to becoming a better artist. You may spend days where you're just practicing every day, practicing the guitar, practicing the trumpet, practicing drums, whatever it is. Or you're reading books about the music business and learning more about the industry. Or you're even reading books on how to be more creative and applying that to your everyday life. As long as you're consistently a student of your craft and honing it and focusing on what you want to do best, that's part of the being consistent. And then you can apply it to how you're building your own material and how you're building your own content. I used to do things like 100-day challenges or just 10-minute beat challenges. Those times I would make something like the day of and drop it. I wasn't necessarily the best planner, but my work ethic showed me like in crunch time, I'm able to make a pretty decent beat within that span of time, and it just works for me. In hindsight, I have learned also like I should probably plan that out better, but it does show me like, oh my god, I'm on day 6 and I have not made a beat yet. Let me go make one real quick. Boom, 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 drop it. There you go. I fulfilled what I needed to do that day. Got it. 10-minute beat challenges, see what I can cook up in 10 minutes. There we go. And maybe, add more onto it later on, but it's the consistency of knowing your limits and testing them out. It's like working out. You go for the bench press, cool. You can only bench press 100 pounds today, cool. You keep working on it until you get used to it. And now you can bump it up to like 110, 115, 120 until again you find your new limit. Keep testing it out, because when you're consistent, you can keep growing. And that is like really it, y'all. Like those are the 5 things, like I said before. You can make a career as a producer / artist where you are the artist and it's just your beats on display. They're the main focus. Making sure you know your why you keep doing this, why you fell in love with it in the first place, and why you have to keep going. Loving the process, enjoying the ins and outs and behind the scenes work of whatever craft it is that you have. Finding other ways to stay inspired, finding a new hobby, finding a new way to keep your mind focused when it gets a little bit burned out creatively. And last but not least, consistency is key to it all. Keep going at it, keep grinding, even on days you don't want to. It's the same way as going to work. You don't want to go to your job every day, but you got to make money. And that's it. You're staying consistent and you get better at your job. You get better at the gym when you go there more constantly. You get better knowledge absorbing information when you read a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, consistency is key. So that's all I have to say for y'all. Thank you so much for watching the video. My name is Kamal Saucier. Y'all enjoy your new year. Peace, love, and unity. I will see you next time. Bye.